You bet. A lot of good things were accomplished Saturday evening. I was pleased with our evolution of our offense. Had a tough first game against Wake Forest and had some explosive plays against Southern. Got some takeaways early in the game defensively that led to points and did some good things in the kicking game. So we made the progress we wanted to from week 1 to week 2, and we're happy about that. And now obviously we're getting into conference play and playing a really, really tough opponent, Navy. Got a lot of respect for what they do there. Played them a few years ago when I was at Georgia Southern, and, they get on a roll. They're like a machine. So we're going to have that same type of improvement from week 2 to week 3 to when we play Navy this weekend.
Any questions for Coach Fritz, please? Star 1 on your telephone to join the queue, then the operator will introduce you.
And we'll go to Dan Tortora from wakeupcalldt.com.
Good afternoon, Coach. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing well, thanks for asking. To look at week 1 to week 2 for your team, what were the biggest jumps that you saw? I mean, obviously you're playing different teams from different conferences, but what were the improvements that you saw from week 1 to week 2 going into this week 3 game against Navy?
Well, I thought the execution, just getting the right bodies on the opponents, and doing a good job with our quarterbacks of reading whether to give the ball, pull the ball. We pitched the ball more effectively than we did in week 1. I think we only pitched it maybe once in week 1, and we pitched it quite a few times last Saturday. So we're using the whole field horizontally as well. Defensively, we played really well the first week defensively, but didn't cause any takeaways, and we got 4 of them on Saturday, and that's something that you really emphasize defensively. I've been coaching a long time. We've been +1 or better in takeaway margin. We've won 91% of our games, so that's going to be a big piece of us having success this weekend against Navy. And we got to do a good job. When we played them a few years ago, we turned the ball over a few times. We're driving the ball. They got some takeaways on us, and you just can't do it against them. They don't make very many mistakes. You've got to play as close to error-free as possible when you play Navy.
When you look at what Navy's able to do and the way that they run their offense, better than anybody that's trying to duplicate it, what can you say about your defense and preparing them for what Navy is going to bring, this coming week, as well as, how you try to simulate that in practice?
Well, it's hard to simulate it without question. We're fortunate. My staff's been together for a while, and we played a good triple option team last year and played them the year before. I think we learned some things from going against them the year before. And, you talk about it all the time. You got to be assignment sound. The big thing to me is you just got to know who made the mistake so you can correct it quickly. The kids have got to know that on the field. Sometimes I think teams get real multiple against a team like Navy, and heck, you're scratching your head as to who made the mistake out there on the field. And you ought to be able to know that very quickly, which you do against most offenses that you play. So, yeah, it's hard to replicate it in practice. There's no question about that. But it's hard to replicate every team that you play in practice as well.
Thanks, Coach. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we'll go to Bill Wagner from Baltimore Sun Media Group.
Hello, Coach Fritz. Wanted to ask you, last year Tulane did a very good job of defending Navy. In fact, may have defended Navy as well as anybody they faced all season. And Navy coaches were very complimentary of the defensive front of Tulane. And you have a lot of those players back. Do you think that helps? And do you maybe give some confidence that they played well against Navy a year ago?
Yeah, I sure hope so. We do have a lot of those guys back, and both in the second level with our linebackers and also with our secondary. So, yes, hopefully that does provide some confidence for our guys.
And then just what are you seeing out of Navy so far? Obviously, they've had a quarterback switch. I don't know if you had a chance to review the tape of Saturday's game and see Will Worth at the helm, but, just your thoughts on what you're seeing out of the parks.
Well, they're gonna do what they do. They're not gonna change a whole lot. This is an offense that they believe in. I'm sure, as you get a little later in the season, you're maybe going to see more plays that are going to take advantage of the strengths of the quarterback that's playing for them. You might see a little bit of difference, but right now, we're just working that they're going to run their offense like they've been doing for a long time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll now go to Gary Smith with the New Orleans Advocate.
Hey, Coach, how are you doing?
Good, Gary. How are you?
Yeah, doing good. When Karis Chanel and Will Harper got a lot of early playing time, it almost looked like you guys were rotating the safeties by series there early in the first half. Have they really come on, and how good do you feel about your depth in the back of the defense?
Well, that's one of the things we're trying to establish is a little bit more depth, and you got to play guys early and see what they can do. And those two guys have certainly, they've warranted us playing them a little bit more. They're doing a nice job. And the thing I like about Taurus in particular is he can play a lot of spots back there. He's played some corner. Matter of fact, I was watching some game tape from last year with Tulane. He played quite a bit of corner, and he can play a lot of the safety positions for us as well. So he's really a utility man for us back there. Play a lot of spots for us.
Sherman Beatty had to get helped off the field when he left. Is it a wait and see on his situation, or did he turn out to be okay? Do you have an update on his status, or is that more of a wait and see till later in the week?
It's probably going to be a wait and see. We there's because of the score, there was a few guys obviously that we weren't going to take a chance on. So hopefully everything's going to be all right with him. We should know in the next couple of days.